Real quick, I want to touch on goal setting. My name is Breno and I welcome you specially to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time in my channel, kindly subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell because there's quite a lot going on there, ranging from music to business trainings to shows and what have you. Okay, I'm quite sure that you benefit a lot. Okay, and also after watching this content, if you enjoy it, smash the like button and comment below. Alright, so without wasting our time, let's delve into the talking point for today. What is goal setting? Goal setting is a process that starts with a careful consideration of what you want to achieve and ends with a lot of hard work to actually do it. Now, it starts with a careful consideration. Now, you need to consider what you want to do. Okay? Is this really what you want in your life? Before setting goals, you need to consider, is this really what you want in your life? Then if it has high value of importance to you, then go ahead and set them. But then it doesn't stop there. Okay? It ends with a lot of hard work. Okay? A lot of hard work to actually do it. Not everybody who set goals actually gets to finish it. Not everybody who dreams actually works hard to make it come to reality. You see, that is why I have to make this video, because I know that somebody out there is waiting to be helped. All right, now when setting goals, I look at it in three categories. Okay, number one categories are your short-term goals. Number two categories are your midterm goals, and the third one are your long-term goals. Now, what are your short-term goals? Your short-term goals are goals that you plan to achieve within a very short period of time. Let's say within a day. So when you wake up early in the morning, you set your thoughts on what you want to do on that day. Then sometimes you even write them down. So a lot of people even set goals without even knowing about it. So like, for example, me, a lot of times I write them down and sometimes I just don't write them down. Okay, so if I plan to achieve something massive that day, like I want to go for grocery shopping or like for things that are unusual that I don't usually buy, I write them down and it helps me not to forget. It helps me to focus on what I want to get. Okay, now the second categories are your midterm goals. What are your midterm goals? Your midterm goals are goals you plan to achieve within a short period of time, not within a very short period of time. So there's a difference between the short-term goals and the midterm goals. So the short-term goals are planned to be achieved within a very short period of time, whereas the midterm goals are planned to be achieved within a short period of time. Let's say like a week or a month. Okay? So let me just give another example of myself. Whenever we are trying to enter into a new month, so on the eve of that new month, I usually pray, thank God for what He helped me to achieve in the current month, and I reflect on the things I've done, my achievements so far. Okay, then I pray, I thank God for the current month. Then as soon as it is 12 a.m. midnight or past 12, I start making declarations about what I want to achieve in the new month. So I start saying things like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. So, you know, I start making declarations, I start setting goals. In fact, sometimes I even kind of define the subject or a prophecy, okay, to myself. Something that's going to guide me on what I want in that month. For example, I can say that February 2022 is my month of promotion. You know, or it's my month of gratitude, or it's my month of blessings. So these are my what? Midterm goals. The last categories of goals that we have are your long-term goals. Now, what are your long-term goals? Your long-term goals are goals that you plan to achieve within a long period of time, or within a very long period of time. Let's say a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 100 years. Oh, sorry, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Oh, of course. But the thing is, I just want you to know that it's something that you plan to achieve within a long period of time. Okay. Now, funny enough, You cannot achieve the long-term goals without the short-term goals. You cannot achieve the midterm goals without the short-term goals. So the most important categories of goals that you must work hard to achieve are your short-term goals. Because the more you smash your short-term goals, the closer you get to your destination. The closer you get to achieving your midterm goals and your long-term goals. This is why your short-term goals are very important. Okay, so your short-term goals actually takes you closer and closer and closer to your destiny. Okay, now let's look at it this way. If you're climbing a staircase that has let's say you're climbing a staircase from the ground floor and your destination is the second floor. Now, your ground floor, each staircase that you climb, let's look at them as your short-term goals, like every day. So every staircase is a day, another staircase is another day. Okay, now you see that you have to climb this staircase a step at a time for you to get to the first floor, which I consider your midterm goals. And you also have to climb another staircase from there to get to the second floor, which is where you can find your long-term goals. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's so important. Your short-term goals are so important. Now, when you talk about goals, when you talk about setting goals, there are two factors you need to consider when setting your goals. These factors are so important. The first factor you need to consider when setting your goals is that your goals have to be specific. You need to state specifically what you want. Okay, you need to state what you want. What do you really want? That was why the definition states that you need to start with a careful consideration. Okay, so before setting a goal, ask yourself, is this really what I want? Is it worth it? Because if it's not worth it, then there's no need, there's no point setting the goals. If you're not going to achieve the goals, then there's no point setting them. Okay, so it's so important that it has to be specific. It has to be specific. Okay, let me give you an example. If you're a student and you would like to buy a geography textbook, so what do? So you say something like this: by the end of today, I must have bought a geography textbook. You see, now you are specific about your goal. Your goal is to buy a geography textbook. All right. Now, if you say something like, by the end of today, I must have bought a book, you're not specific, because we have a lot of books. We have geography book, we have a biology book, we have chemistry book, and so on. Do you understand? Now, the second factor you need to consider when setting your goals is that your goals need to have a deadline. You need to set a deadline, a time frame. Okay? Now, from the sentence I stated earlier, I said, by the end of today, I must have bought a geography textbook. So the end of today is my deadline. And because I have this in my mind, in my intuition, it helps me to focus. It helps me to approach it with a sense of urgency. So deadlines helps you to approach your goals with a sense of urgency. Okay, you know that you have to do it. So let's take a case study of a worker and a boss. Now you view yourself in this scenario that I am a worker and there's a boss looking at me. If I don't go and buy this textbook by the end of today, the boss is going to fire me. So if you live this with this kind of mindset, if you approach your goals with this kind of mindset, it is inevitable for you to achieve them. Like, it is just possible. It is possible to achieve them. Like, nothing is going to restrict you from achieving them if you approach them with this mindset. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to show you something, examples of my goals that I set for myself this year already. So these are my goals for this year, written down. And when setting my goals, I kind of made it in such a way that I can expand. What do I mean by that? There's a space here where I can write more. For example, when I go to a place and I immediately get interested in something new, you know, I can write it down, an additional goal. Do you understand? Now, the title of my goal is my goals for 2022. So this is kind of like a prophecy, my own prophecy for myself, to myself for this year. Okay. Now, when writing my goals, I wrote them into segments. For example, the first one are my personal development goals. Okay. Now, let me read out something about my personal development goals. Now, for example, I stated that by December 31st, 2022, I must have read or listened to 24 books. In this example, you can see that it was specific, or it is specific, and it is time bound. There's a deadline. How specific is it? I stated the number of books I want to read, and I can go on and on to expand. Like, okay, in these 24 books, I can write the names of these books to make it more specific. Now, to talk about the deadline, you can see that I stated the deadline here as 31st of December 2022. Okay. Now, you can write your goals like that. Also, another goal I set for myself under personal development is that every day I must listen to at least one motivational material or video online on YouTube. Okay. You see how it is. Now, another segment of my goals that I wrote is value goals. Value goals. Now, value. What is value? Value means you now imparting other people with what you've learned, giving out the things you've received. So after reading all these things, after listening to all these motivational materials, now I'm now imparting people, just like I'm doing to you now that is watching. Do you understand? So these are my value goals written below. For example, every week I must make at least 2 videos to upload on my YouTube channel, just like what I'm doing now, right? So this is one of my goals. You can also set goals like your house goals. Do you want to buy a house, or do you want to buy houses this year? You can set it down. And one thing I forgot to say is that you should set achievable goals you can achieve. Don't set something too big, you know, that you're not up to that level yet. Of course, it's good to have faith, but then don't go with a blind faith. All right, make something achievable, or at least something a bit higher than you, that you know that you can work harder to meet. Okay, set a target that you can work harder to meet, not a target that no matter, you know that even in the next century you can't meet up. So please. Now, you can also set goals like bodybuilding goals, fitness goals, health exercises, dietary goals, car goals, marriage goals, music goals, business goals, money goals, and so on and so forth. Do you understand? So these are so important. This is important. This is super important. If you want to start living the life of your dream, this is super important. To round up, I want to enumerate some things on why should you set goals. Number 1, setting goals helps trigger new behavior. Okay, it helps trigger new behavior in you. It creates a new habit. Something you do habitually, okay, you will soon do it conveniently. First of all, something you do consistently, at a point it becomes your habit. It becomes a habit. And then from there, it becomes something that is convenient. Okay, so it forms new habits. So ensure that you are spending your time on positive things, because if you want to develop positive habits, spend your time on positive things. Number 2, why we should set goals is that goal setting helps to guide your focus, okay, and sustain the momentum in life. So it helps to guide your focus and sustain that momentum. So as soon as you've gotten your focus, your momentum is kind of sustained. Okay, your momentum is sustained. Now, the third reason why you should set goals is that goals also helps to align your focus and promote a sense of self-mastery. It aligns your focus to your vision and it promotes a sense of self-mastery. Okay. Fourthly, why you should set goals is that goal settings motivate you. if you have a future, if you have a dream and you set goals, it motivates you to achieve them. Okay. Now, lastly, goal settings improves our mental health and our level of personal and professional success. Okay. So important. So important. So to give a summary of what I talked about. So first of all, I gave a definition of goal setting, and I said that goal setting is a process that starts with a careful consideration of what you want to achieve, and it ends with a lot of hard work to actually do it. Okay. Then I stated 3 categories of goals, which are your short-term goals, which you plan to achieve within a day or within a very short period of time. The other one are your midterm goals, which you plan to achieve within a short period of time, like within 1 week or within 1 month. And the last category of goals are your long-term goals, which you plan to achieve within a long period of time, or within a very long period of time. And I also talked about 2 factors which you need to consider when setting goals. I said that your goals have to be specific and they have to be time bound. They need to have a deadline. Okay. Lastly, I talked about why you should set goals. Okay. If you have any question, feel free to comment in the section below. All right. And also you can reach me on my social media handle. Okay. All right. So till next time, have a great day. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, and also like this video and feel free to share it with somebody. All right. Till next time, have a great day.